Chan Academy. Alright, so let's go ahead and get to it. So what I want to show you guys first is in case you guys don't know how to log in to see your homework from online, you can always just go to my webpage on SPHS Tigers. Here's the username and here's the password. You go to this website right here, type it into here. This will show up. You click Student Resources. From there you can pick out the units. We're on Unit 4, Module 10, Lesson 2. And then you click Student Edition, Lesson 10.2. And then I scroll down past the notes into our homework section with the page on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate number 2 for you guys, so that way you guys know how to do it. I'm going to try to do it as quick as possible so it's effective. So let's look at number 2, and it says here's the data points, right? And that's just data points, and then here are 2 different lines of best fit. And what we're trying to do is figure out which one of these lines is a better fit. So what would probably be easier is to take a look at a picture first. Okay, now in this picture we have one of these lines of best fit, and we have the line of best fit, and here's the data point, the original data points right here, right? And here's the original data point. And what we're looking at in this chapter is the residual, which is this red line marked right here. So what we're trying to figure out is what is the residual between 2, 0 and 2, -1? What's the difference between 0 and 1? In other words, 0 minus 1, that's -1. So this residual is a -1. And this one is a positive, what amount? Well, the difference between 3 and 7, 7 minus 3, or sorry, yeah, 7 minus 3 is +4. So now we know those residuals. Okay, so from here we're going to continue on and look at this. Let's take a look. So what we're going to do is something similar here, and we're trying to figure out between these 2 lines which one is better. So here are the steps, and I try to shorten it down a little bit. You want to locate your lines of best fit to compare. Well, they gave it to us already. It's these 2. Calculate the points on your line by plugging in X into each best fit line. So let's do this first. So in other words, what I'm trying to do is figure out those points on the line, right? And I want to use the same X. So if I plug in 1 here, 1 times 2 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. And then if I plug in 2 into here, I get 5. If I plug in 3 into 2x plus 1, I get 7. If I plug in 4 into 2x plus 1, I get 9. Alright, now I just need to do the same thing with this one. If I plug in 1 into here, I get 3.1. Okay, 3.1. If I plug in 2 into there, I get 5.1. If I plug in 7 into there, if I plug in 3 into here, I should get 7.1. If I plug in 4 into this line of best fit, then I will get 9.1. Okay, so now that I have points on my line, right, I just need to figure out the distance, just like in this picture. I need to figure out the distance between this and this. Okay, I need to figure out the distance between a data point and the point on the line. And what we just did is we found the points on the line for ourselves. Okay, so now that we have those, now we're going to calculate the residual. So the residual is, what is the difference between 1 and 3? So let's just calculate. What's 1 minus 3? That is -2. What is 5 minus 7? That's -2. What's the difference between 7 and 3? That's -4. What's the difference between 9 and 5? That's also -4. Okay, so 1 minus 3 is -2, 7 minus 5 is negative, oops, sorry, it should be +2. 3 minus 7 is -4, and then 5 minus 9 is -4. So we did that for the top, right? This is the first line of best fit, and these are the residuals. This is the difference between the data points right here and the line. So now we just need to do the same for the second one. I plug in. What's the difference between 1 and 3.1? 1 minus 3.1 is -2.1. What's the difference between 7 and 5.1? That is 2.1. What is the difference between 3 and 7.1? That is negative 4.1. What's the difference between 5 and 9.1? That's negative 4.1. So that's step 3, right? Calculate the residual between the y from the data point and the y from the line. So you just have to do that as a step. So basically what we found is what is the residual from the line of best fit to the data point, from the line of best fit to the data point. And we are going to compare two different lines of best fit and see which one is better, right? So suppose it's like the first one, this is the second one. We're just trying to figure out which one's better. So the next thing we need to do is square each residual and add them together. So I'm going to take this top line, square them, and I will redo this right here, because I'm figuring out for this one. And then I'm also going to do it for this one as well. Okay. So let's calculate. For the top one, we've got negative 2 squared. Right, negative 2 squared. And it's like this. Plus 2 squared plus negative 4 squared plus negative 4 squared. Okay. Now once I calculate that out, I should get 4 plus 4 plus 16 plus 16, 16, which equals 32 plus 8, which is 40. Okay. So I basically took care of number 5 too, or the end part of number 4. Square each residual and add them together. So I get 40 here. Alright, time to do the same thing on the bottom one. So I'm going to take those same residuals and I'm going to square them, except now it's negative 2.1. So it's negative 2.1 squared, 2.1 squared, negative 4.1 squared, and negative 4.1 squared. Alright, now that calculated out should give me 4.22. I might be wrong. I should check a calculator. Okay, so 4.1, 2.1 times 2.1. 4.41. Okay. 4.41 plus 4.41 plus 4.1 times 4.1 is 16.81. When I add those all together, 4.41 plus 4. That should give me 42.44. Unless I messed up. 16.81 times 2 plus 4.41 plus 42.44. So which one of these is bigger? Okay, now the bigger one is the one that is further away. So since 42.44 is bigger, right, it means that the residuals are further away. In other words, these things right here are further away. Okay, so you want the one with the smaller residuals. So the one with the smaller number is a better fit line. So which one's a better fit line? And all you have to do is repeat the same steps for your homework. Okay. Alright, see you guys in class.